Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Daily HiFi podcast. As always, my name is Chana, and we've got Mike and Joe here in the house. We are the triple threat, the trifecta of audio. What's going on, everybody? How are you guys doing?
What's up, man?
up?
Maybe just feel like I'm really important, Chana. Appreciate that, brother. Hey, I'm the trifecta, man. I love it. What's going on, everybody? We got lots of folks in the chat
too.
What's that?
Chana with a fresh cut.
Oh yeah, man. I had to miss some sort of Sound United meeting so I can get my haircut on. You know what I'm saying? It was a priority. You know,
and it's not just us, Michael. We're the trifecta, but we got everybody in the group.
See them, man. Dude, they were here like 30 minutes early.
I know you guys watching everything. Yeah,
we're in the backside, like the back end, behind the stage. We're talking and chatting. We're like, everybody's just dropping in. It's like, oh, dude, this is great. Yeah. See everybody. We got Optimus Vader, of course. SI Services, as always. Who else we got over here?
Roseanne, Toby Hines. What's up, Toby?
Junior's in the house.
Kanga.
Oh yeah.
Life of Bliss says, I thought they canceled the show due to low ratings.
Wow.
We'll do this with zero viewers, bro. We've been in here for like an hour before this.
But yet he keeps coming back for more.
There you go.
We're gonna find some use for these tonight.
That's right. And I just want to let you guys know that today's stream or podcast is brought to you by OSD Black. Of course, OSD, you guys know, are kind of disrupting the home theater space right now with subwoofers, amplifiers. Of course, they do the crazy outdoor audio. Have you guys actually gone to the site and clicked on monitors? Like, look at these guys.
Woo. Yeah, put them behind your home theater.
Yeah,
AT screen.
Look at this dual 8-inch woofer ribbon tweeters. Look out. Kind of looks like those BMWs, like those B&Ws, but I bet you these things are way more affordable.
Yeah.
So definitely check out OSD Black, osdblack.com. Joe, what do you know about OSD?
All right. So, they sent me a whole shipment of cables, right? All kinds of cables. And I'm like, I don't know if you guys know, but I'm not like huge on cables, right? But hey, they sent them to me and I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to use them, but not for the reason why, some other people might buy them or, the way things are marketed, right? And so I figured, should I do an unboxing? Like, what am I going to do with these cables that they sent me, right? Always trying to think of ways to make content. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to have fun with it. I'm going to unbox them and kind of just like do some quick B-roll. So they didn't ask me to do any of this stuff. They just sent me the cables and I made this quick little video. Again, they didn't ask me to do it, but I'm all about here's one thing I want to say is I've told people before, you don't have to lie when it comes to marketing. You know what I mean? Just tell the truth. Just tell the truth about what it is. You don't have to say they do this or do that. To me, they just look cool. So here's the thing I made. Let me know what you guys think.
Oh yeah, man.
That was like some professional shit right there. Look at
Dude.
that.
Yeah.
Round of applause for Joe. For Joe's video.
I was feeling the bass drop, boy. It was like pushing in on my chest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They just look cool. That's it. Is that good? Are you not entertained?
They
look cool.
Yeah.
Even the packaging, just the way that they present it was pretty sweet.
That's it.
Yep. Someone asked
roll
about
over them a couple times with your chair. They'll be fine.
Yeah, right. Those look hefty, man.
Right.
Yeah,
man. So anyway,
yeah. Somebody was asking about the snack sponsor. Oh, it was Tristan. Well, I don't know about snack sponsor, but I am snacking on my favorite caramel corn by Popcornopolis. If you're out there, Popcornopolis, send me this shit. Really, I love it. I will eat it. But yeah, and water. No alcohol today.
Got my water too, man.
That's right. Hey, Mike, you're sounding like way better. You're sounding like yourself now.
Like I said, man, I just had the junk just sits in my throat. I get it every single year, and it usually takes me literally weeks and weeks and weeks just to get my voice completely back. Like right now, it's still deeper than what it normally is. You know, but
energy's back though.
I mean,
dude,
like
I feel awesome.
We thought it was the Rona. Like we're like, dude, it's like okay. Like I don't
No,
know.
I'm good, man.
Oh, dude.
Like I said, I get it every single year. Usually it's later in the year though. So that's kind of interesting. And I think last year was the first year I didn't get it. So I don't know if it was like, all right, we're going to hook you up a little bit early this year since you missed out last year. But
yeah, right. We got to get you early. And then we might get you on the back end too.
All right, I may get it in the winter too. So that's going to suck. Cool. So what you guys been up to, man? What you been up to this week?
Chana, you got some stuff. What's up?
Oh man, I've been making these TV videos. I've been calibrating TVs. Very interesting stuff. And I thought it was going to be since they made this auto calibration thing, like I would just hit a couple of buttons and then it would do it and then it'd be done. Yeah, not the case. Not the case. I have yet to get an auto cal to actually complete. Like it'll be like 24 readings. I'll come back in like half an hour and it's like 60 readings taken and we're still on the same screen. I'm like, what's going on? And it's one of those things where like the computer's plugged into the pattern generator, the computer is also plugged into the color meter, and then the computer's plugged into the TV via Ethernet. So what it's supposed to do is supposed to take a reading of like blue or whatever and then change settings in the TV and then take the reading again so that it's accurate, right?
It's crazy.
So yeah, no, really cool. I thought that's what was going to happen, but yeah, no. Like it just doesn't work. Should I just leave it for like 8 hours and then come back and be like, oh finally it's done? I don't know. So I'm really thankful to Portrait Displays and especially Tyler Pruitt. He was on the phone with me for hours. That's and awesome. We just walked through. Yeah, no, it's so cool. We would just walk through manual calibration. So basically I did a manual calibration in like a quarter of the time while the stupid auto cal was just, I don't know what it was doing. So
crazy. So basically when you do these readings, you're actually changing the settings and then doing another reading.
Yeah, it's like trial and error. I mean, I don't think I don't want to say it's difficult. I mean, I think it's more time consuming than difficult. I mean, the workflow is already there. You just have to know what to do, where, go change this, go change that, take another reading. Like, and since like, okay, so if we're talking about the basic, think about it as a canvas, right? When someone's painting, what are they start with what? They start with a blank white canvas. So basically what you're trying to do is get that white to be perfectly balanced. And so the first thing it does is it takes a little rectangle and it reads a rectangle of white, and the color emitter reads it, and it tells you how much red, green, and blue is in that white. And so it'll put it on the chart, but like, oh, it's too much blue. Oh, it's too much green. Oh, it's too much red. And it does that from 0, 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%. So all the way from 0% brightness to 100% brightness. And basically you see what happens with the TV. And then so you go in, and I remember on the Samsung Q90T, like blue was like off the chart. So I brought it down, and then red went up and green went up. I'm like, oh crap. So they're like completely intertwined. And like I was messing with the red and the blue, and I just couldn't get it right. And I'm like, wait a minute, let me just bump up the green 3 notches. Did that perfectly flat. Like nice. What? Like it was just some random thing. So I just started trying random shit, and it was just working.
There you go. You set off the explicit already. Yeah. Early on. All right, thank you. You had to. So there it is.
Dude, Chana, well, at least you got some love from Tristan. He says that your videos are so in depth.
He commented about it. Yeah, because like
guilty not buying your television.
Oh no, it's all good, dude. Whatever. I don't care if anybody buys this stuff. I'm just putting out videos and
stuff we enjoy, man.
Yeah. No, I like to learn something new, and it's really cool that I'm doing it. Now, here's one interesting fact. If you have a professional calibrator come in and calibrate your TV, they will do a dark room setting and a light room setting, or a bright room setting, sorry, for SDR, HDR, and depending on the TV, Dolby Vision, right?
Okay.
Sony's, you can't really calibrate Dolby Vision because they use the Dolby Vision Profile 5, meaning your 4K player or your external device needs to process Dolby Vision before it sends it to the TV. So the pattern generator doesn't do that.
Yeah.
But for TVs like LG, Vizio, TCL, I should be able to calibrate Dolby Vision, no problem. Anyway, they will only give you those two. And for some reason, they will never calibrate a game mode. And if you ever put on game mode, it's just like through the roof. You guys know about daylight color, right? Like sunlight, 6400, 6500 Kelvin or whatever, right? So in the first part of the calibration, you're supposed to take a measurement to see which picture mode is going to be the easiest or the most accurate. And when you do that, like with cinema or custom, nice, Derek. Nice. I got a lot of options for you. Just let me know what price range you're looking at, what features you want, because that's really like the most important thing. So custom mode, cinema mode, they'd be coming in at 6400. I put it on game mode, it was like 9600. So it's like blue. It's extremely blue.
Right.
And like the graph, dude, do I have it here? Can I show you guys? So
while you're looking for that, you know, our eyes are very good at adapting though, right? To the different colors. So like you look at white, it could be super yellow, and at first you're like, man, that's super yellow. But after a while, your eyes will start telling you, no, that's the white.
That's
so
white,
your eyes will calibrate. But I'm just wondering, when you do these calibrations where everything is even, right? I'm assuming that's kind of easier on your eyes at the end of the day, because they don't have to, you know, think that it's white. It actually is just accurate white.
Definitely. Let's see here. And it's just funny how, like, you know, some of these readings are just off the charts, like whack. Like, why would you even use these picture modes? And I get why it is, because, you know, people see differently. You have different
Best Buy, that's why. Best
Buy for sure. Okay, here we go. I wonder if if I click on this, I'm not used to this PC. Okay, it'll work. Okay. Pre-calibration.
Yeah, so
let's see here.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. They're all in my Dropbox because I do it on my Mac. All right, so check out SDR game mode. Look at this. Can you guys see that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Zoom in a little bit. Can you zoom in?
Okay, let's see. What is this nonsense off to the left here, or to the right here? Okay, there we go. Boom, boom. Better?
Yes.
Okay.
Drop some knowledge, some calibration knowledge on us. Let's
bring it, man.
All right. So basically, this is game mode. So this right here can you see the plus sign right here?
Where?
My cursor?
Yeah.
On the right?
See your cursor.
What?
Oh,
dang.
we don't see your cursor, but it's
okay,
all right.
so
I see the two lines.
All right, so on the right is the EOTF, which is the gamma, right? And this yellow curve here is where you want the gray line to track. Now, when the gray line tracks higher, that means it's brighter. So overall, the picture is brighter, right, in game mode. And then if you go down to luminance, it's the same idea. If the gray line is tracking higher than the yellow line, then it's bright. It's too bright. In the center here, this is our white balance. All these, see how these three here are at 100? One is at 0. This is what we want all across the board. So as you can see, like the TV in game mode is just blue all over the place. Green just takes a nosedive, so does red. And then the colors are over here are kind of off. So they don't actually do anything with game mode, which is really, really odd. So here is what I did. Boom. Game mode post. Look at this.
It's all balanced now.
There it is.
Look at that. Look at that. It's a little bit blue here for like, you know, down in here, 5%, 10%, 15%. But for the most part, look at the average.
Right.
1.
So what are you looking at when you look at that, the before and after, when you switch back and forth? what does it look like to you? Are you just like, I can't believe the other one was like that? Like,
yeah, and like the colors, I got them pretty much spot on. These guys, like the blues, just hanging on for dear life. There, it's a little oversaturated, but man, I wish I could do these side by side. It's very annoying. This.
So here's a question. So I would like to see a side by side, like a back and forth, right? Yeah. And then the other question is that calibrated one. If you put that at Best Buy, right, next to all the other TVs, right, or the same TV. Let's just say you put it next to the same TV. Which one would sell? Which one would sell? Buy it. I'm just wondering. Are they just going for brightness and like, oh, that has a brighter picture?
I think because think about it, when they're at the when they're on the shelf, man, they're like saturation's jacked up, brightness is jacked up. You're like, I like that because I can see it better, but it's not accurate at all.
Well, even in the TCL, it's like set up for home mode or store mode. So that automatically tells you like it's totally two different things. The LGs have that as well. Yeah. So you guys aren't really buying too many TVs recently, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. And I was just like, why don't they calibrate game mode? Because I play games and I would want it to look accurate. I wouldn't want it to look all like super blue. I understand that like game mode should be maybe a little bit brighter because you're playing in a lot of dark scenes and stuff like that for like first person shooters or whatever, but it makes no sense to me. So I'm just calibrating every TV's game mode. Just
he's like, because I can,
to get practice, like all that kind of stuff.
So once you calibrate it, does the brightness change? I know Ike's got a question here, kind of a thought. He says a calibrated TV takes some getting used to. It's usually not as bright or color popping as the modes that come with a TV. Is that what you find?
Definitely. Like vivid is like,
wow, that's trash.
fully oversaturated, fully bright, and it's one of those things where it's just like, it's pretty crazy to think that you're gonna spend a couple $1,000s on a TV and you're looking at the worst picture mode in the store. Like that's
exactly.
And sometimes people were like, well, after you calibrate, well, this doesn't look as exciting because it's more accurate,
more natural.
Yeah, exactly. It's more natural. So
you have to get into some projector stuff, man. That might be a whole different thing. Like calibrating projector. Yeah, that might be interesting.
Speaking of projector, there's something we need to tell you guys, and that is September 7th is a Monday, and that's in 2 weeks. Following that, we are having a special live stream on September 8th. Okay. Now it's all about projectors and some new projector technology that's going to change
revolutionary
scope of home theater projectors. Okay. So September 8th, Tuesday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Mark your calendars, guys. You're not going to want to miss this. It's very special.
Can we tell them who our guest is going to be?
Yeah, our guest is going to be Phil Jones.
Yeah. And Phil, you know him, man. We've had him on several times. That dude will drop some serious knowledge. So if you're interested about projectors,
no talking. No talking.
Yeah.
No talking from me. When Phil's on, it's just like, all right, guys, see you later.
I'm taking notes, man. Yeah. I mean, the dude knows so much. I mean, he's just a wealth of knowledge. So definitely check that out. Join us. So we're having our normal Monday and the Tuesday. Is that correct?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So cool. So basically, you get hold on a second. We got somebody saying some stuff here. Hold on a second.
Are we doing it, Joe, or are we just doing the Tuesday? What do you think?
I was thinking we said we were just moving it to Tuesday, but
okay. Yeah, we'll move it to Tuesday. Okay, who's this guy? I think somebody wants attention. Hold on a second. Somebody wants attention here.
Bring it. What's up?
The Doomats. These guys used to be cool. Why are they doing stuff they don't know about? They used to start doing. Okay. So why are we doing stuff we don't know about? This thing that we're talking about with Phil Jones. So he is an expert when it comes to projectors. I am not an expert, and so we'll have the expert on to talk about it. So there's a lot of stuff I don't know, and maybe a lot of stuff that people out there don't know. So I don't know everything. I talk about the stuff I do know. Chana's actually learning this new process of calibration.
Yeah, and this is like just something he's interested in.
Yeah, any time that you're trying to do something new, right? There is a learning process. So
Mhm.
I think that should be encouraged, that we're all trying to improve ourselves and get better. And sometimes we make mistakes. So a lot of times we'll have to go back, like, actually, you know what? The thing I said before was actually not
Totally
correct.
wrong.
Mhm.
That happens all the time.
And
But
not
yeah,
everybody's willing to
hopefully
say
that
that.
helps you if you're really asking just not to get attention, if you're really asking for, on purpose, you know what I mean? So there you go. Speaking of calibration, let me make a quick note here. What time is it? Okay, so 20. Speaking of that, is OSD again. They sent me their Travoce 12 a while back, right? And basically the Travoce 12, I was like, man, this thing's very capable, but it needs DSP because it was not hitting 20 hertz. And I'm like, I can't recommend a sub that's not hitting 20 hertz.
Nope.
That's what it needs to do. That's my requirement. So I swear that was pretty quick, right?
Yeah.
They sent me this other one. Like Dave's like, hey,
Try
how
this
about a
out.
DSP, one with DSP in it? I was like, all right. So I swear to you, because they're LA based, maybe about a day or two later, it was already in my door. I wasn't even, it was just here. Here it is. I'm like, that's crazy. So I spent all night the other night applying DSP to this thing, taking measurements of the original without DSP, you know, adding DSP to it. And now this thing, I'm happy to say, is pretty beast. So I'm gonna have a review of that pretty soon. But I was just amazed that, they didn't change very much except for adding DSP to it, and that just changed the whole thing.
Well,
So
Klipsch even did that with the fives by adding the DSP. That little joker 4.5-inch driver has a good amount of slam to it. I mean, not like slam, but I mean, there's some solid bass from a little dinky driver. So
yeah,
DSP
look,
makes a huge difference.
if we were to talk about, let's take this back 20 years, right? Like back in when we were in the car audio, back in when we were in like high school, let's just say,
Oh
right?
yeah.
If you were to say like, hey, I got this speaker with a 4-inch driver, what would you have said? You would have laughed at that, right?
I got
4-inch
dual, I
woofer,
had
what are you
dual
talking about?
12.
What is it for? Like some bells? Ding, ding,
Exactly.
ding. It's not for bass.
Mid-range.
That's right.
The ones in my door are 5.25. What are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's kind of
And they were
amazing what you
garbage.
can do
Yeah.
with DSP. But yeah, I'm excited to do the review of these. Hopefully the cost, hopefully I've been telling them, if you can keep the cost very competitive, there are, there are not a lot of options for subs under a certain price point. If you start going up, then you have a lot of options, but we'll see. We'll see. Reviews coming soon, but I was just excited to see how much difference DSP could actually make.
Mhm.
So anyway,
I
that's
I I think it's fantastic that Dave over there at OSD is just
He's
listening.
listening. Yeah.
It's just,
You know,
that's it.
So, kind of speaking of that, somebody mentioned it earlier. I've got the Monolith HTP1 processor, 16 channel. I'm happy to say this thing hasn't given me any hiccups at all so far. Way big difference from the Emotiva RMC1 that I reviewed. So I'm excited about that. Haven't really had a chance to listen to it much. Last night we spent, me and a friend of mine from Wisconsin, Tony he's got his channel name is Sawk, SOWK, home theater. And so he is just way more knowledgeable at Dirac. And plus he wanted to see what the Dirac bass control was about, because he's got the Emotiva RMC1 and he does have Dirac. So he's familiar with that, but they haven't implemented the bass control into that yet. And so I said, well, man, let's just jump on a little Zoom, not Zoom, but what do you call it? Like what is that software? But anyway, where you can kind of look at my computer and he can actually control it.
like a team viewer type of thing.
Yeah, something like that. So we jumped on TeamViewer, and so he was able to navigate through it. And he's like, dude, this is some pretty legit stuff. And so he was excited. I was excited. But while we were doing it, we figured out one of my tweeters is blown on my La Scalas. I'm like, dang, man. So I got a couple of guys in the forum that are hooking me up. So I'm going to be buying one of those and getting that installed. But I didn't want to run all. I think Dirac will do like 17 what do you call them? Positions.
Like measurement positions.
Yeah. So that's going to take a while. And so I don't want to do all 17 with a blown tweeter. So I only did one measurement. And so I'm like, all right, so we'll just leave it at that for now. Get the new tweeter, get it installed, rerun it. But I like what I'm seeing on it. It's really cool, super user friendly. And the way it's integrated with the HTP one, dude, really liking what I'm seeing.
Now I'm curious to see what you notice with Dirac letting it go above like 500 hertz versus not letting it. You know what I mean?
And adding those curtains, right? Yeah.
I'm curious about that. Now that thing was 16 channels or what?
It's 16 channels. Now, one thing I really like about Dirac and the way it implements with the HTP one, let's say I'm either listening to music or watching a movie, you can pull up the HTP one software because it's through like an IP address. And so you don't like have to hit a setup menu. So I can either pull it up on my phone, pull it up on my tablet, and you can export Dirac. I think it'll support up to 6 Dirac filters. So you can run Dirac one way, like with the curtains, run Dirac another way without the curtains, run Dirac, with a Harman curve or whatever. So there's a lot of different things. And literally as you're watching a movie, I can click from one to another. And I think it takes about maybe a second to 2 seconds, maybe.
That quick, huh?
Yeah, it's like almost instantaneous. So you click it and you'll hear like the audio just kind of stop just for a second. And then it'll come right back. And you're like, so it's really easy to be able to compare, like, how does this sound versus this? So I honestly, man, I'm pretty pumped. So
that's
pretty
cool.
Yeah.
I like that. You can kind of switch back and forth.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And nobody even knows it. Like
are you going to put up more speakers or what?
What's that?
You can put up some more speakers now or what?
I don't think my room can really handle more. I mean, I don't even know where I would put additional speakers in my room. You
can figure it out.
Front wides maybe, but I don't really see a lot of benefit.
More holes up there, more something, just more.
Yeah. Nah, it's all good, man. But yeah, man. So I'm pumped about that. So I'll have more videos on the channel. On the I'll probably even do some additional because I'd like to kind of. All right, so going back to the question earlier about us kind of getting more technical, like Chana's doing, he's learning something that he's excited about. Dirac is something brand new to me. And so when I share about Dirac, I tell you up front, look, I am new to this. I'm not an expert in this. I'm just sharing like my experience. I'm sharing my journey and the things that I learned along the way. And so that's kind of my perspective on certain things as I'm learning, but it's stuff that I'm excited about. It's like, man, this is cool. And I want to share that with you guys. And so that's why we continue just to make videos on them. So,
yeah. I don't know anything. So don't listen to me at all. How about that?
Exactly.
If you decide to, then that's on you.
That's right, man.
I'm having fun making videos. If you enjoy it, I'm trying to provide as much correct information as possible.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
But
we mess up.
Watch other people. You decide what's right at the end of the day.
Yeah, that life of bliss. He's kind of whack, so I would stay away from
life of bliss.
Where is he?
Oh man,
Kyle's a good guy, man. Definitely go check out his channel.
Man.
He's been a great friend for a long time.
So is it Dirac?
I think it's Dirac.
It's just Tristan says pronounced Dirac.
We had to do on from the guy
RGA says Dirac.
Yeah.
What did you say, Joe?
I think you say it like Dirac, but in a French way. Like say it like as if you're French.
Dirac.
Yeah, that's the way.
Something like that. Make it sound fancy.
I'm gonna do the rest of the podcast ASMR style.
Oh no, don't do that.
But it's pretty cool, man. It's definitely fascinating. One thing I like too about Dirac or or whatever you want to call it,
Dirac. Just say it however you're comfortable.
Dirac is I like how it kind of went from one speaker to the next pretty like fast. Like it goes straight. There's like no pause for the most part. It's like left channel, center channel, right. And I'm like, okay, because time, man, I hate doing Odyssey.
Oh my! I did it last night. It takes so long, and it's just,
So I think it's going to be a faster process, except for the fact that you have a lot more positions, you know. And so what Dirac suggests is that you'll have a center point. Let's see if I can do this. A center point, and then you'll go over here, and then you'll do another one over here. So you kind of have like a horizontal line, but then you'll go up maybe like 8 inches, I think, and do like a square 8 inches above that plane. And then you'll go 8 inches below that plane and do another 4 options there. So there's just a bunch more that you can, like, more positions. I think Odyssey XT32, what does it support? Maybe 8, I believe. So
yeah, built in, right?
yeah,
Built in.
yeah. So,
I
but
remember
you can
on
do a
their
lot
old
more.
models, they used to have like a pro version where you could do more,
Oh, gotcha.
but you'd have to have like special mics
Tools and a license and all that
license.
other stuff. Yeah. So cool, man. But everybody says, man, Dirac is one of the best processing, you know, room correction software out there on the market today. So definitely.
Well, when we had the guy on from Dirac, from I said it all weird, but when we had him on for the HiFi Summit, he was talking about impulse response, right? Mm-hmm. And that's something that they do about the pre-ringing, and that's, I don't know that any other room correction is actually doing that. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe they are, but that's just one of the things that they're trying to correct for on Dirac.
Yeah.
What's going on here? What's going on in the chat over here? I see
all kinds of stuff, man. I've been answering some TV questions. There's all kinds of silliness here. Let's see. I think I'm trying to put. El Jefe's here. What's up, El Jefe?
Yeah, El Jefe. I sent El Jefe some DSP corrections for headphones because I got some new IEMs. I've been doing a few headphone things. What do you call it? Personal audio stuff. I just like all things audio. And so I've been applying some corrections to those on some inexpensive ones to see if they sound better. You know, sending them over to him to see if he actually likes them. He's like, hey, these are pretty good. So we'll see.
Here's a good question from Eduardo. He says, guys, would you change the SR6014 for an SR6015? You know, so Marantz has the new processors out there. They've got some new features. They used to have I reviewed the 8012, reviewing currently the 8015. You know, what would you recommend? Should he go ahead and upgrade to that latest greatest? What do you think?
I'd say no.
It's hard when they're only like one version away.
I don't think. I think this is so usually this is like a minimal type of upgrade. I don't think
it's not a complete redesign.
Yeah, you're not going to get the DTSX Pro until you get to the 8015. So I would say wait a year and a half. And if the price of the 6050 goes down a lot, then get that, or get the 7015 in a year when the price goes down, because like it's really like, it's almost like you just got it. The 6014, I know some people that just got their receiver and then like, oh crap, the new one's just got released. So
yeah. And there are some guys that need that latest greatest, or they want that latest greatest. Disposable income is just, it's oozing out of their pockets, and they're going to buy it.
Right.
But for the average guy, probably it's a safe bet that you're probably going to skip maybe 2 or 3 or 4 models before you upgrade, because those are when the major changes happen. So that kind of is typically where I'm at. I don't usually go, okay, the newest one just came out, I'm going to sell mine and get that, because you're going to always be in the hole. You're going to lose money like on every purchase.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
they're required to make a new one. They have to make a new one every year, right?
They have to have something to make a new one. Yeah, right. They got to, and they add a little bit of this, and they might take some of that out.
Yeah.
But Eduardo, your projector is 4K. The new receiver is 8K. Yeah. I don't think you need it. I'm pretty sure you probably think you don't need it. I'm sure you want it. But yeah, I would put the brakes on buying any new receiver, especially if you got a 2019 one already.
Yeah. And if you don't have one, or maybe you got just a really old school, maybe you haven't even rocked, moved up to Dolby Atmos, you just still got the DTS master and Dolby True HD kind of processing. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be a great upgrade to go for something like that to the 6015.
Yeah, so like cars, right? So car manufacturers are pretty much expected to come out with a new model every single year, right? Without exception, if you're any car manufacturer, you have to make a new model every year. And so some of them are just kind of like facelifts. They might change a few things here and there, but you're not going to go and buy the newest one every single time just because, right?
Yeah.
But then like maybe every 5 years, there's a big upgrade where like, oh, that's a different thing than the previous
whole body shape. Yeah, they usually do like a 5 to 6 year cycle on those.
Yeah, so I think it's more like that. And I talked to the guys at Sound United, and they're like, "Yeah, that's fine. We like people buying the previous models too. That's not bad for them. Also, if you're buying the previous one, so if you're trying to save money and buying the older model, right, save a couple $100, they're happy about that too, right? So, hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah.
What else we got here? It's just us today, so I figured we should just answer as many questions as we can from the chat.
So Mark says, why are we worried about 8K when we can't really get much in 4K? I mean, to me, there's still a lot of 4K content. Now, are you talking about streaming? But there's still a lot of streaming stuff. So I'm not sure I understand.
What we saw, we started watching on Amazon Prime is the world's toughest race or the toughest race.
I haven't watched it. It looks good.
Oh yeah, and it's in 4K HDR. Nice. So look, I'm reviewing this Sony OLED in the bedroom, and I'm just like sitting there watching it, like, oh man, it's like I'm in the jungles and where are they at, Fiji or something. But there's a ton of 4K content. I was even watching that silly show on Netflix, Space Force, right? Because I'm a Steve Carell fan, and usually if he's doing something, it's going to be either seriously dramatic or like super funny. And this is just hilarious. Like Space Force, really. It's in Dolby Atmos and Dolby Vision. It's 4K. There's also some silly stuff like The Witcher, which is like a TV series made off a video game.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's tons of stuff. You just gotta especially on Netflix, there's tons of 4K stuff on Netflix, and a lot of the new comedians are doing comedy specials on Amazon Prime Video, and those are all in 4K too.
Gotcha.
So there's a lot of stuff. You just gotta go look for it.
So the dirty jokes, do they sound different in 4K versus 1080p? From the comedians.
I think so. I think they're a little bit crisper. They're a little sharper, right?
That's right.
So Chana, would you rather have 8K something or something with like HDR Dolby Vision? 4K.
I don't care for 8K. I mean, I know some people ask me to review an 8K TV, and I can get a couple of them in. But what would I do? I'd watch 4K content on it.
Yeah.
So to me, it doesn't really.
It's not here yet. It really isn't. It's way, way, way early. I have said from the beginning, when Marantz announced theirs, Denon and Marantz announced their 8K players, basically was saying, to me, that's like the least feature on those. Everybody's like, oh, screw 4K, that sucks, or 8K, but there's some other great features in there. It's not just about 8K. That just happens to be something that they decided we want to be first in the market to do this.
Yeah.
And there's some merit to that. That's pretty cool.
Optimus Vader. Always. He says, guys, next month is my birthday. I will open a GoFundMe. Make Optimus Vader birthday the best one. Thank you again for the super chat.
He's wanting to win something so bad, guys. He wants.
Yeah, we need to get you. We'll get you something. Don't worry. We'll take care of you
every time, man. He wants a giveaway, so we got to figure out something for him.
It's funny. It's like when it comes to the 8K stuff, the way I think about it is like, I don't know if you guys are looking into phones, but smartphone tech, right? When they jumped to the Retina display, when Apple went to that was a big difference. Like you could not see the pixels anymore, right?
Right.
That was big.
That was big, yeah.
And so I think that was like, to me, like moving from 720 to 1080 was like a pretty big jump, right? And then the 4K is like pretty noticeable, not as noticeable as the first jump.
Just depends on how big your screen is, you know.
Right. I mean,
close you sit.
Yeah, I think from 4 to 8 is like who right now.
Mhm.
I bet you 99% of the people do not 99.9% of the people do not have a 4K phone, right?
Mhm.
Why? Because you wouldn't be able to tell the difference, right?
Yeah,
It's
'cause
just pushing
small.
more pixels and unnecessarily load, and like everything's unnecessary.
Yeah.
So, I think for most people, going to 8K would not be noticeable.
Yeah.
It's just more bandwidth and just
Mhm.
more resources needed to like.
You gotta
Now I have to
buy new
record in
cables.
8K,
Mhm.
Well,
right?
yeah,
I
no,
gotta
and then
new everything, like
You gotta buy
all this
new
stuff
HDMI
for
cables.
not being
48
able to notice a difference.
Yeah.
I have an account with Storyblocks, so I pieced together like all these 4K clips to make my little 4K demo reel.
Yeah.
Well, I was looking at 8K HDR clips that are out there, like royalty free and all that stuff. $300 per clip. And some of
Wow.
these things are like 7 seconds long, 8 seconds.
That's because the camera's so expensive.
Right, and the editing and the color grading and like all that stuff that they have to do.
Yeah.
So I reached out to one of the companies, and they were totally cool to make me a little reel.
Mhm.
So he's making some, and I won't get an 8K TV in until maybe December. I don't know, but it's really, so Joe and I were at CES, and oh, Optimus, good luck, man, good luck.
Yeah, let's see what we can do. We'll see.
And Joe, you saw the 8K stuff, right? It looked cool when it was playing 8K content.
Mhm.
I mean, like, how close do I have to be? I'm looking at a 32-inch monitor right now, right?
Yeah.
And I'm touching the screen. I'm like right here looking at this thing, right?
I don't see any pixels
Now I had
at all.
Now I had the 5K 27-inch iMac before, 5K, right? I don't know that I can tell the difference. You know what I mean? Like at a certain point, your eyes are not resolving enough information.
Yeah.
So it might be okay for the people who are recording in 8K so they can punch in, later on. But from a viewing perspective, I'm huge on a sharp picture, right?
Mhm.
I
Yep.
love a sharp image.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, it just gets useless, right? You're just taking up more bandwidth. Like you download that 8K video now, it's going to take more space,
Yeah.
Yep.
right? So everything is just more unnecessarily. So, yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of unnecessary waste of selling stuff that's just to sell something new. I'm more about like, the HDR stuff, more colors. You'd
Mhm.
notice a huge difference in that.
And like I was hoping for a 12-bit TV panel before we got to 8K, but I think it's just kind of like a marketing
It's easier
buzz.
to throw out that number, 8K. That's
I got
4K.
8K. What? They're otherwise it's like, hey, we just went from 10-bit panels to 12-bit panels.
You're like, who
Okay,
cares? What's a bit? Yeah.
What? Like,
Look, when we were at CES, right, there were a ton of 8K displays, right? A ton.
Mhm.
Like almost everything that you walked across was 8K something, right? Almost every single time, like you'd see something 8K, right? At no point did you walk by like, whoa, this looks totally different than what I've ever seen before. Like this looks so much more realistic. No.
do you remember at the Samsung booth we couldn't find any 4K TVs there?
Yeah, they're all 8K. And
So-
then what I tell you, Chana, what is their new phone gonna have? 8K video recording, because the Samsung makes phones, right? So make an 8K TV, make your phone record in 8K. Now you're setting the standard.
Yeah.
And they really messed up too, because they nerfed all their 4K TVs and put all the better tech in the 8K TVs to push people to buy that. So that's kind of messed up. Like the Samsung I have now is the Q90T, and last year's was a Q90R, and the Q90R was over $2,000, even for a 55-inch. And this one was it's listed at 1,800. It was on sale for 1,500. I'm like, these prices are fantastic. And it come to find out, like they have like the dimming zones for the local dimming are like a couple of hundred, but in the 8K TVs it's like 1,200. And so it's just vastly different and way better. And they're just trying to push people in that direction, which kind of sucks.
Kanga says he'd rather take a 1080p at 240 hertz HDR plus and 0.5 millisecond refresh. I mean, I agree. I'm not a gamer, so I agree with high refresh rate.
Yeah.
Right. I like that, and low latency is always good.
Yeah. I mean, not everybody's excited about 8K, but SI Services is, man. He says jumping to 8K ultra short throw laser projection is going to be huge. Can't wait to be Vaha to be the first. May happen, man.
Possibly.
Well, I'll say this: I would just be excited because I have more stuff to review. Right?
Yeah, it's always fun, man.
That's it.
It's always
you know what I mean. They'll probably send that out like, hey, review the 8K version. Like, all right, cool, more content.
I know Kanga had this question for me about movies at 120 frames per second or 120 hertz. I saw that one. What was that? Gemini Man that was in 60 frames per second.
Right.
And it was just kind of weird to watch a movie all the way like that. I know a lot of people that didn't like it. Some people did like it. So I think it's personal preference.
Yeah.
You know, and the motion smoothing. I mean, I always have that off, even though, like, let's say, you know, you've got a fast panning scene and you got a big thing in the center, you know, and when you turn off all the motion interpolation, yeah, you're going to get a little bit of judder. It just happens. It's just the way it is. But I would rather have that than it look like I'm on set at a soap opera. That's
but how about this? How about Chana? How about if because me, I like 24 frames per second for most, like, everything.
Yeah.
Right? 30 if I'm watching YouTube, 60 if it's something that needs it. You know what I mean? But wouldn't you like 120 for like moving around like the menus and stuff like that? Like,
that's yes.
That might be cool.
Yeah. Because I know what is it? Apple TV does that. It's like Dolby Vision and 60 hertz when you're in the menu. And then when you plug in to whatever you're playing, it either goes back to HDR10 if it's that, because you have it match the frame rate and match the content. So as long as it's separate, right? And it's not doing that stupid thing that the Xbox does and put everything in Dolby Atmos, because that just annoys the shit out of me. And it's just so stupid. And Microsoft's like, oh yeah, we didn't want your AV receiver to click every like 2 seconds. Like, oh.
Here's an idea for these TV guys too. Oh, go ahead, Michael. Sorry.
You know what's annoying to me is why can't receiver and AVR and processor manufacturers make menus that are decent quality?
Oh my gosh. Why
They're
not?
like, I think I'm watching what is that that game that's got all the squares?
Tetris.
No, the newer one, man.
Minecraft or something?
Minecraft.
Oh,
Dude.
Minecraft.
It looks like Minecraft. There's pixels everywhere. I'm like, all the text is like jagged edges. I'm like, come on, man. Give me something crisp. Give me something clean. That can't be that hard, right? So
yeah.
Anyway, that's
I wouldn't know. I haven't done it. It seems like it would be easy though. That's hilarious. What frame rates do you record your videos? So I can answer for everybody. I think I do 24. Michael, you started doing 24, and Chana 30, right?
That's right. I shoot all my B-roll in 60, so I can slow it down 50%.
Yeah.
Especially with all the unboxing stuff. If it's just me talking, then it's a 30 frame per second situation.
Here's something interesting.
Hilarious. Yeah.
Here's something interesting that companies have not done. But what would happen if you took the high refresh rate and went the opposite direction? So because you have more frames, more information, if you watch something that's in, let's say, 60 frames per second, you could potentially add realistic motion blur and make it less soap opera like. Like going the opposite way. Instead of taking out motion blur, adding in motion blur to kind of give it a smoother effect. So somebody can take that idea if you want.
Let's see. King
I don't know why you'd want that. That though.
He says, think about how much your quality memory cost in your new PC build, which is decent. They have not an engineer. Oh, they have to engineer that capacity in the processor. Yeah, mate. But I just don't see like, I mean, we're not even asking for 4K, man. I'm probably looking for 720 at this point. You know, it just seems like it's just pixelated bad.
Maybe, you know what, Michael, maybe Monoprice has it right. Forget the on-screen menu. Just go app-based.
Look right there.
Yeah.
That's how services.
That's it. Oh, there you go.
Kanga says it's web.
Yeah.
why have to show? You don't have to show it on the screen at all.
Yeah.
Right? Just do it all through the app.
Yeah. And it looks clean, man. There's no
Except when they start doing the stuff where like, oh, we can stream from the, directly to the AVR, right? And then you hop into that one, you're like, what is that?
Yeah.
You look at the menu, you're like, oh, that looks hilarious.
I'll tell you the one thing I'm still getting. I like the web UI. I really do. I think there's a lot of flexibility there because number one, the manufacturer can update that because it's like a website in a way, so they can update that. They can make it look nicer. The monoprice HTP one, it's easy to navigate. It's not super like exciting. I mean, you don't look at it and go, oh man, this is an Apple product kind of thing. But it for the most part, most of the menus they look decent, they look nice. But the one thing I'm still getting used to is not physically seeing the volume on the display.
That is handy sometimes.
And people say, "Oh, you should just turn up the volume till you get to where you like it." The problem is movies are dynamic, and so you're watching a movie and it's soft, and you're like, "Okay, this is you think it's at a decent volume." Until those 418 start cranking and your whole house is about to shake, and fall apart because you got it all the way up to 0 dB or, plus 5 dB because you didn't realize how loud it was. So to me, I do miss that because I don't really want to have my phone open all the time, go into an IP address.
Yeah, because that's one thing too. People are like, I remember some of the first Vizio TVs didn't have a remote control, and you would have to control the whole thing with your phone. Like, I don't want that.
Yeah,
I want to control. I want to be able to press a button because that's.
So I'm still getting used to that. So, but I think
for consistency, right? So you can always go back to the same volume every single time.
Yeah,
as your starting point.
Yeah, because I know typically I'm going to watch a movie somewhere between say -20 and -15 dB on average.
Yeah. I'm with the on-screen volume control. I think is handy. I wish on the Denon and Marantz stuff, I wish it would go away faster.
Yeah.
You hit volume up, and I'm like, all right, that's staying there. Like, I don't need it that like just
a second
on and off.
Rewind a little bit more. Rewatch that.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah.
You hit volume up, and the thing's on there for a while. So I end up just turning that off and looking at the AVR if you can do it, because some people have their AVR stashed somewhere else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So home theaters like Mike's, it's all stashed away.
I wonder if they can incorporate a web-based or app-based menu, but still have just the volume.
Just the volume. Yeah, that would be perfectly fine with me. Really, if I want to see the info, I can look on the app. If I want to see, change some settings, I can do it all in the app.
I wonder if it'd be just easier for them to implement just HDMI ARC Life of Bliss and just use the on-screen volume control from the TV or projector itself. Projectors are notoriously bad though at using ARC, right? But for TVs, they could just use the TV one, right? Turn it up, turn it down. It shows you on the TV using theirs.
So I don't know. Now, all right. So with that though, think about this. If you're using ARC and EARC on your TV to control the volume, I'm assuming it's using kind of like the TV's algorithm, and it's going to be a I don't know what you even call it. Like I use a relative
right.
So it's dB versus 1 to 100.
Okay, so it's different, right? So if you're halfway on the volume on the TV, you're halfway on the receiver, but the numbers are totally different.
Numbers won't match, right?
Yeah.
So it may say 50 or 75, and you're like, okay,
right.
Figure that out. Is that -30 dB? So
that's something I hope companies will start doing. TV, like a pro mode, instead of just like, 1 to 100, show me in decibels. That would be awesome.
But I guess the reality of that is they're building a TV, and you're not worried about decibels on a TV, man. You know what I mean? Because if you're looking at the TV speakers.
Yeah. I wonder how many people who buy like the more expensive OLED stuff and like, the higher end TVs are actually using the TV speakers versus,
I don't know.
external audio.
Oh shit. Do you guys want an exclusive?
Yeah,
let's go.
Somebody here asked about I forget, it's like up at the top. Anybody know what's going on with Yamaha's 2020 AV receivers? And I just got an email from Michael Lepick.
Oh yeah, what's up?
Is there
Did I get an email too? Oh, I got an email too.
Yeah, we should have all got this stupid email.
What the heck? Hold on a second. Yeah, are we allowed to say anything?
I don't know.
Hold on.
Read it real quick.
You might want to read through that.
Here, I'll read some comments over here.
New RX line. All right, so they launched it. So I'm going to share the screen.
Oh, okay, it's launched.
Another daily HiFi exclusive. Aren't you guys glad you're here? Give it up for the daily HiFi. Boom. True. That's right. That's right. Let's zoom in a little bit. All right, can you guys see this?
Yeah,
okay.
We're fast, Michael. We're too fast for you.
All right, so here we go.
Reply. We're sharing it now.
New RX V line positioned to support the latest trends and specifications for home theater, including gaming, both now and into the future. This includes support for 8K, HDMI 2.1, and HDR10 Plus. All right, cool. What else we got? We've got auto low latency mode, variable refresh rate, quick frame transport, and quick media switching. All right, what about prices and models? The RX V6A at a glance. We've got 7-channel, 7 in and out, and Dolby Atmos DTSX, height virtualization, white POW, $599, available next month.
Dang, look at that, 8K at $599.
Hey,
yeah. So even though we don't want it, you can afford it.
We don't care about it, but hey,
man, at that price.
I like new stuff.
And that's is that it? Is that it? Just those two.
Is there links down at the bottom to the
so they're coming. Additional, yeah.
Yeah, don't show his phone number.
Yeah, click on the bottom.
Oh.
See where it says RX V6A.
I think I might have shown.
Okay.
Or if that's going to take you to their website.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, look at that. Total redesign.
Hold on, I don't see it.
You gotta show it.
You got to show the new tab.
You do.
Oh, it looks different.
Open up both of those, the 6A and the 4A.
I'm looking right now. Oh, they went simple looking.
Yeah. Here we go. Boom. There it is. Look at that, guys.
Wow, that is interesting. Different design.
All together. Yeah.
Hey, I can even see that volume knob. Man. Oh, I just saw something that. Yeah.
$599. Let's zoom in here. Oh man, come on. Let's see.
Why do they give you that little? Okay.
Looks okay. Let's you know what we want to see? We want to see that ace.
Pre-outs.
All right, here we go.
Just got subwoofer. Well, you do have the front pre-out, so I guess you can add an amplifier, for your front 2 speakers. Does have 2 subwoofer outs. That's kind of interesting for that low of a price. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah,
not bad.
HDMI ARC and E-ARC over there on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Kind of a middle of the road.
Yeah, I mean $600 is
budget.
7-channel. You're definitely gonna, it's definitely a good starting option. Or if you need to upgrade something from, a while back, not bad. And you get not all, but you get the 2 big sound formats.
Yeah.
What's funny is HDR10 Plus. Okay, it says available via future firmware update, but it's so funny because people are like, who's watching HDR10 Plus?
Mm-hmm.
Like that content is still.
I am.
No, you're not. Yeah. What are you watching? Huh?
YouTube. Are you watching YouTube HDR10 Plus?
That's funny.
There's no HDR10 Plus on.
Oh,
YouTube.
Not Plus, just HDR10 only.
Yeah, that's just HLG via VP9.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. We got pictures. Oh.
So, it would be good to have some of this stuff because we always say, we don't know very much about the Yamaha stuff because we don't have it. You know what I mean? I can't say whether YPow is good or not because I haven't really used it in a new version of it. So, could be awesome for all I know.
Yeah.
So, the good thing is this options. Not everybody's got $1,000, $1,200, $1,500, or $3,000 budget.
Yeah.
you know. And so if your budget is super low, you know, these are just some options for you to consider. And, you know, the more options that you have as a consumer, I think the better, you know, whether it's from Yamaha or Onkyo or Pioneer or Marantz, Denon, whoever, you know, there's a flavor of ice cream for everybody.
Let's see.
I mean, I remember having the VX583 or something like that a couple of years ago. When I was buying AVRs and then selling them when I was done with them. But you know, in the what is it called, the like $500 range, there are a lot of options, and models from different manufacturers do change quite a bit in that price range on what they offer from, you know, feature wise, power output wise. So it's definitely an interesting price range. You know, usually once you pass like the $2,000 price range, everything's kind of like, it's got it. They all kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
But when you're at that lower price point, things get a little bit different. Yeah. Oh, hey, there's Michael. I told him that he's like, I hope you will share this with your folks. And I was just like, dude, I just shared it on the podcast. There's Michael from Yamaha. Everybody say hi to Michael.
Hey, what's up? Brother. There we go. It's always good to have the guys in here. Yeah, Michael, like we were just saying, I don't know if you caught it, but like it's just we don't know enough about Yamaha stuff because we don't have it, right? So I'm familiar with the other AVRs because that's what I'm using. So when I use it every day, of course, I know all the ins and outs, pros and cons, everything. Oops. So
the ins and outs.
So yeah, maybe get it out to some people. I think that would be a good idea. Let us check it out and see what's going on. I think somebody was asking about some of the higher end models because Yamaha does have, you know, higher end stuff. So
Kanga mentioned wait for the Avantage. Is that how you say it?
I think that's how you say it all.
Avantage.
I was waiting for you to say
there
it.
We go. Avantage. I think it's AVENTAGE, but we won't hold you.
I had the A2080 in for review. Pretty hefty AVR, and one of the things I like, because you guys know I love that ESS Saber. They put those ESS Saber DACs. You know, so it's definitely some good stuff there.
And every brand's got their own sound kind of.
I heard something knocking over there. I don't know if the hello.
Sean is hearing things again.
No, the teenager. I don't know. My wife.
You're just hearing things.
I'm in a dream though.
Oh, get Michael on the line. I mean, we have. I just reset up this phone.
Oh, there you go.
You guys want to take in calls? Maybe Michael can call in. Maybe I don't know. If you want,
you up for it, man?
Yeah, if you want.
Tell us about some new products that Yamaha's got coming out, and so
there you go. Maybe nobody call in except for Michael. If you want to call in, if not, then it's all good. We're just hanging out. We're having fun. If you want to just tell us a quick something,
that'd be awesome.
We can chat.
Little.
If not, then it's okay too. If not, it's okay too. Anyway, it gives me a chance to test out to see if the phone calls work since I redid this phone.
What happened to your phone?
I just felt like redoing it because this is an old like Android phone.
What does it mean, redoing it?
Redoing it. So when this phone shipped, it had an older version, and now it has like the latest version of Android that it's not supposed to even have. Like manufacturers stopped supporting this phone. But because they have like these communities where you can fix up and add new ROMs and stuff like that, you can get way more functionality than it's supposed to have. That's it. Just nerding out, basically. Calling in now. It's my Yamaha and I need it now. All right. Let's see. Somebody calling in?
Oh, wait. What's this? At Mark. He says, wait for it. It's not released and what's out there is leaked. Not authentic. That's funny.
So according to that email and press release, everything should be coming out next month.
Nice.
So
there are a lot of Yamaha fans out there. I remember I made a video saying like, this is why I like Denon and Marantz receivers, right? And almost every day I get some Yamaha. I'm all about this. How come you don't do this? How come you don't review Yamaha stuff? And you know what? I do have a Yamaha 2-channel, and I think they dominate when it comes to 2-channel stuff.
Yeah.
I think they're doing pretty well when it comes to their 2-channel audio. It's just when it comes to AVRs, kind of tough. Lots of competition there.
So what is this comment here? So Onkyo USA is no longer a thing
Oh,
now.
are we
That
totally did
segues
not talk
into-
about that.
we did
segues
not.
into some knowledge here. So what's going on with the Onkyo?
What's going on? I believe they just got bought out.
Vox?
US, right? US distribution.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Onkyo and Pioneer and whatever goes along with that is like Integra.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I guess Vox, which owns what? Klipsch and Energy, and who else are they? They own a bunch of companies.
Yamo.
Yeah, Yamo.
Yeah, lots of
Yeah,
stuff.
so there's a handful of companies. So, but now they just got 2 more. So, what was it last year that Sound United was considering buying Onkyo and Pioneer, and then that deal was shut down, and then Vox said, "Hey, we'll step up, we'll buy them."
Right. And Vox, you guys know them more as Klipsch.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, crazy.
Yeah. So they're doing, I guess, the U.S. distribution. They're stopping their U.S. distribution, and they just haven't been innovating too much. I remember at CES China when we went into their room, right?
Oh man,
And
yeah.
so it was Onkyo and Pioneer all in one room,
Yeah.
and they just didn't seem like they had a ton going on. Like we're like cool guys, right? Dudes were super cool, but it was like, so
They
they're
had some
supposed to be hyped up. They didn't even look hyped up. They're just like, yeah. So
they had headphones. They had like a Pioneer player and a receiver and some speakers set up, but they weren't like.
It's kind of hard to believe that they're like that, because I mean, when I was building my home theater, 14 years ago, like if you wanted the most bang for your buck, like Onkyo was the brand to get, because
had a few.
they were throwing everything in it, and you're like, man, I'm getting all this for this amount, versus maybe the competitor that was a lot more, or at least a little bit more, and you weren't getting as much, whether it was the processing or the wattage per channel or whatever. But I don't really see them out in the forefront now. You know what I mean? And I wonder if part of that has to do with the fact that they went away from Odyssey.
Oh, you read my mind. I read my mind right now.
I really wonder that, because Odyssey, I think they were trying to cut some corners, maybe do it in house.
Mhm.
And it reminds me of like Emotiva when they had the Emo Q. That thing sucked like bad.
You read my mind. I think that is, looking back at it, right? Because I had like 3 Onkyo AVRs, right? And so it used to be like, for me at least, I used to think like Onkyo was the affordable, high value. You get good wattage.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They had some issues with HDMI stuff.
Correct.
Luckily, I didn't. I skipped. I didn't have any issues with mine.
I had
But, they had some quality control issues, but for the most part, you'd save a decent amount of money.
Yeah.
Versus, to me, Denon was more of like, ooh, that's a little bit more. If you can do it, then that's nice. But yeah, so it used to have Odyssey, right? So you could get all the Odyssey stuff that you could get in Denon and Marantz in the Onkyo. And so I think they probably saw a huge shift. So they were just trying to save money there.
I think so.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, I think it goes back to what we always say is the room correction is really what sells a lot of this stuff.
Yeah. What are they using now? Do you know what it's called?
What, Onkyo?
Onkyo's new one.
Acu EQ or something like that?
Even just the name, like Acu EQ. It's like, really, dude? Could your marketing department come up with anything worse than Acu EQ?
Yeah.
Maybe we're just picking on Onkyo. I don't know, man.
Yeah, we're just picking on them.
I'd love to see him come back, man. Dean says he liked Onkyo back in the day, and he was never plagued by the the HDMI issues. So I had a friend of mine that I bought a Youthman deal, Got a ton. I'm serious. I bought a ton of gear, speakers, 3 receivers. One of them was their flagship receiver, bunch of stuff for like $900. Got it all home. And so I didn't need 3 receivers. So I kept the best one for me, of course. I gave the next best one to a friend of mine. So he had an issue with the board, like probably within the first couple weeks to a month that he had it, one of the HDMI ports stopped working. So he contacted Onkyo and said, "Hey, I've got an HDMI board. I understand, you've got like a process for people that have issues. What are my options?" They said, we'll pay for shipping and we'll replace the board and we'll send it back to you. So they did that once. A couple months down the road, they did it again. A couple months later, he ended up doing it 5 times. And here's a testament to Onkyo. So he got a free receiver. This is a used receiver, and they supported it 5 times because of a bad HDMI board. And at the end, they were like, "You know what? This ain't working. We'll just send you the current model," which was like the next year up, I think. And it was like a $1,200, $1,300 receiver. So he got hooked up. But that's cool customer service, though, honestly.
And that's why they're no longer doing US. Imagine how much that costs.
Now they're broke. Yeah.
Back and forth 5 times and then send them a new one at the end.
Yeah, they're broke because of my buddy. I don't know. But yeah, man.
Yeah. Pioneer used to have Andrew Jones, so they used to make those like affordable speakers.
Yeah.
That were pretty awesome. That they sell a ton of those. I think they're still selling those, right?
Yeah.
So
Drone speakers,
they lost some of the key things that, when you're trying to save money, trying to cut corners, and you have to know what to cut, right?
Yeah.
So if you make the wrong choices.
Yeah, even Rick says it here. Pioneer still makes entry level home theaters designed by Andrew Jones. He also talked about the Pioneer Elite Kuro, that plasma. That's still to this day, like they haven't made a flat panel like that. The Panasonic VT and ZT series got pretty close. I actually had a VT until it got smashed. But we won't talk about that. Anyway, but Pioneer does have that one player. Don't you still have it, Mike?
LX 500.
500. They also have the flagship one, the 8
even a nicer one.
Price or something.
Yeah.
And what's up with those menus? That looks exactly like my Laserdisc player from the 90s. Like seriously ridiculous. Like, come on.
I think that for most companies, maybe it's kind of an afterthought.
Yeah.
Like, shoot, we got to build a menu now. So.
Oh shoot, menu time.
Yeah. So
what else we got in the chat here? Feel free to call in. I think Michael just popped in for a sec.
He answered. He said he sent me an email. He said, "Thanks for the invite, but I can't speak on behalf of the launch. That would be for Phil."
Okay, got it.
He's saying we can schedule something, so I'm actually sending him some dates.
Okay, cool. Maybe we can have him on the show, and that'd be awesome. Looks like we've got a question over here. Question: do you think the receivers with the pre-pro features, such as Denon, will become the next great thing in home audio as they get better with that feature? I'm wanting to say there's another brand that I just saw that mentioned that they had that like literally either today or yesterday, but I can't remember what brand or what model. But I know Marantz and Denon are doing it, but I was thinking there was one more that I saw. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
What, like the preamp situation?
Yeah, but I can't remember what company. So I think others are doing that and at least considering that. So yeah, we may definitely see that become more of a norm.
I mean,
I'm curious to see, like, can you hear a difference? When you put it in preamp mode, is it quieter? Is it cleaner? I don't know. So
I've asked that question. I've asked that same question, and that's supposed to be the next thing. Once the X4700H gets over here, I have the 4500H, and then I have that Parasound A52 Plus that I got in specifically for this test.
Yeah.
And I can say that I have noticed a difference adding the A52 Plus, because the thing is just a beast.
Yeah.
Right? I have noticed a difference using that. And it's hard because I like to measure the differences. So I'm wondering how I can capture that difference.
Yeah.
either with measurements or through some kind of like sound demo, dangerous sound demo.
Dangerous,
You know what I
Joe.
mean?
Dangerous.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how I'd be able to do that because I can't tell difference. Like one of the difference I notice is like people just don't mind me playing the stuff louder.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I don't know if that's like a weird way to describe it, but um, I notice like if I hand my wife the remote, she just listens like a little bit louder than usual, and nobody notices. Like it's not annoying to people when it's louder. Is that weird? Does that
No.
make sense? You know what I mean? Like we can listen at louder volumes for longer periods of time with this 852 plus. Now, will I be able to tell the difference between that and the dedicated preamp mode on the 4700H? I even asked. I'm like, I asked Sound United like, what difference am I gonna notice here? They're like, I don't know. Whoa, Michael. He's like, I don't know. You have to have a really resolving system,
Mhm.
you know,
Yep.
to be able to tell the difference. Like, I'm pretty sure you'd be able to measure a difference, but will you be able to hear a difference? I don't know.
That's the big question. But you know what's funny is they started doing this, and I had been recommending, like, people were asking, hey, should I get the X6400H or the Denon X4400H? And I was like, get the X4400H and get yourself a 5-channel amplifier, and you'll be outperforming the 6400H. And that's just
Yeah.
the way it is. And now they've made that barrier of entry lower so that the new 3700H, you can still get a 3600H for $1,100. They're still out there brand new. So it's a pretty question. Oh, look, someone says the phone is not working.
Oh, it's not?
Yeah, the phone is not. Or
Okay.
did you have it on mute again, Joe?
Oh, you know what? It's going to my other, it's going to my other thing here. Let's see here. Sorry. Ring volume. Yeah, that's weird. It was coming in through here, and I was ignoring it. I thought it was somebody calling me here on my other phone. So I have two phones. Sorry about that. That's my fault.
Dude, 2 phones.
Let's see here. Ike says, where is he? Oh yeah. So back to the being able to hear the difference. I asked Sound United, and they were like, started talking about pure direct mode. Can you tell the difference between pure direct and not and like direct?
I don't like it. I'll
I'm
be
saying
honest.
like
Yeah.
like pure direct versus direct, right?
Yeah.
The main difference being like pure direct turns off the front screen.
Yeah.
So it's
So I
kind of
don't-
the same thing, less electronics, right? I can't see the volume, but like, can you hear a difference?
Yeah.
I can't.
I was thinking my biggest thing with direct is it takes away the subwoofer. So then there's like Scalas, they don't produce any bass, not like
Does it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Direct mode?
Yeah. Removes the subwoofer.
Yeah, so it won't do LFE plus main. So if you have it set up that way, it's strictly just 2 channels. So there's no subwoofer going on,
Yeah.
right? No processing at all. Joe disagrees.
He's thinking.
I think maybe it depends on how you have the 2-channel set up.
That's
Because
true.
you know how there's a 2-channel option right there. I think it depends on it can be auto or you can do manual. I think it depends on how you have that set up.
There you go, Mike. Something new to try out. Oh,
But again, I don't do much 2-channel, so
yeah.
so I don't really mess with that. So yeah, but typically when I do it, my subwoofers are gone, so I've never used that.
Right.
Yeah.
And then your Marantz is now out of the rack, and I imagine that's going to be a pain to swap it back in.
I ain't going there just to find out if my subwoofers. So
Joe is the next 2 chain.
I got like receivers all over the floor now and subwoofers, and I gotta crank these things out for you guys.
I remember making a video on how to set up ARC with a Denon receiver, a Yamaha, an Onkyo, and a Sony. So they were all on the floor, and I had my cell phone on that, and then the camera on the TV, showing everybody how to go through the motions.
I think we have a question from Ike right here, if you guys don't mind. Where is it?
Where is it?
The question about he says, What's up on the HiFi Summit? Just picked up my ticket today. Thank you for that. Update is that I am working on the site to add more functionality and provide you with a better experience. So that's the goal. Make sure that you're having fun.
More for your money.
Yeah. Well, we were testing out a new chat the other day. That was kind of cool. Yeah. New lobby chat.
Oh,
The
yeah.
call's coming in right here. The call's coming in right here, but it's not coming in on here. So yeah, my system is not. I'm not set up properly.
Got it dialed in.
Not-
With Youth Man, ever listen to the built-in pure direct mode for stereo? Again, I don't do a whole lot of stereo listening, especially in a theater room. You know, if I do stereo listening, usually it's out of my 2-channel setup in my living room. So not really, probably. Rick said he's looking forward to the HiFi Summit in October. Awesome, man. It's going to be a blast.
Yep.
We had a lot of fun, dude. Like, literally, we had a lot of fun.
It was cool. It was a crazy few days.
Guests were great. The seminars were great. And then just the hanging out in the video chat in between sessions and after sessions, that was hilarious. You guys are cool.
It's gonna be cool, but yeah, the whole point is to make it a better experience.
Mhm.
Oh man, I wish I could take this call right now.
For 2-channel, don't use
I'm
an
sorry.
8 pre-pro.
I see you calling here.
Okay.
I guess I'll put you on speaker. I don't care.
Yeah. Let's try that. Will that work?
Yeah, I'll do it. What's up? Sorry I couldn't take the call earlier. How's it going? Yeah, that works. What's up? Who is this? Oh, okay. Nice. Now, I don't think you'll be able to hear Michael and Chana. They should be
Hey,
able to hear you, though.
Maybe
can't.
deactivate CRISPR, Joe.
Oh, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second here. Let me do this and take off this.
Yeah, I couldn't hear him
All
when he
right,
was.
there we go.
All right. So
Yeah.
hello to everyone. I want to chime in on the Onkyo and Pioneer thing. Unlimited budget. I thought I'd try out buying some, the Pioneer speakers, and I didn't like their flavor. I was trying to do 2 center channels as stereo or rear surround, and you can't return anything. I tried to email them with my wife's help, and I'm not getting a response about how to return stuff. Bought them brand new from Pioneer, and then nothing. I've sent, with the help of my wife, sent several emails back to them. That's the way they have it set up that I can find. So that must be what's going on, is this new changeover with clips, Onkyo and etc.
Man, that's too bad.
So if anybody's looking,
They're like, we're out of
Yeah,
we're
so-
out of here. I don't know. Sorry. Clips to see you guys.
I hope. I hope not. I mean, but I want to bring that up as somebody's seeing they're having these great sales of limited stuff, but if you try to talk to them about it, no one responds back. I'm not getting a response.
So make sure it's something that you're gonna want to keep.
Correct, because I've been holding on to it for 2 months now, maybe, and I'm just no response.
That's too bad. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to recommend, except for hopefully when Vox takes over, they'll resolve some of those crickets. Is that what you played right there, John?
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But thanks for calling. Sorry I couldn't take the call earlier, but thank you for letting us know and letting the others know. Just in case.
Sharing your experience.
Yeah. And Yamaha, a shout out to Yamaha. I mean, that's what I'm using, a 381, and it's easy. If the kids lose the remote control, which happens, it's easy to go down there and do the menu on the receiver. That's what I like about it, because I've done Onkyo and Pioneer as well.
Nice.
That was the easiest way.
Nice. Well, thanks for letting us know. Sorry I couldn't take the call earlier, but yeah.
Right on, man. Thank you.
Thanks for what you guys do,
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
and everybody have a good evening.
All right. Take care.
All right, you too. Peace.
Take care. All right, so that's something I have to work on getting this call thing working. But yeah, I guess don't buy any of this stuff unless you know you want it, because you might not be able to get a return right now at this time. What else we got going on here? Optimus says tickets are for sale. Yes, tickets are for sale. Early bird tickets are for sale. So I haven't really been promoting that much because I've been busy actually working on making the site better. So yeah, they are for sale right now. The HiFiSummit.com. Early bird tickets, $24 or something like that.
Yeah, I dropped.
And for the people who were at the previous one, I think that's a pretty good for what you get, especially for the people who won something. That's not bad. Buy tickets.
Ticket link in the chat here.
I was just about to
Yeah, I mean, you could just go to the HiFiSummit.com.
Yeah,
$24. There it is.
$24.
Yeah. There it is.
Holla.
That's how much my new trackball cost. $24.
$24 for a trackball.
I could have bought a ticket to the HiFi Summit.
5-day experience.
You missed
We
out.
had a good time. I think the key to having a good time, though, was participating. For some of the people who weren't in the group chat, who didn't want to participate, weren't in the video chat, like they're like, what is this point of this?
What am I doing here?
What am I doing here?
It's kind of like the kids on the side that are, outside the fence and they don't want to get involved, or they're just kind of looking from the outside.
Yeah, it's like going to a trade show.
The more you invest in it, man, the more fun you have.
Yeah, it's like going to a trade show and standing outside of the convention center.
Yeah.
Looking at it like, what is the point of this thing?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
So here's a question from, well, go ahead, Chana, with that one.
Oh, I saw this. Randall says, if anyone follows Macintosh on Instagram, they posted Hugh Jackman's system earlier this morning.
Well, wow.
I saw it. It was pretty insane.
Hugh Jackman's Macintosh system. I got to go check that out.
I'll put it up. Here,
Let me guess, all Onkyo gear or what?
That's funny, man. Ike has an upgraded Hi-Fi Summit account. The VIP, maybe?
There it is. He upgraded. You got the VIP. So we're gonna have some good stuff coming. I'm excited to see what we can do this time.
Cool. Here's a question from Nick. Is Oral 3D dead? I don't know if it ever really took off.
Not here.
I mean, over in Europe, most of the time when you buy discs, like I know Chana's bought several discs. And he has to order them overseas in other languages sometimes. And
and it's funny too because the English track is in Oro 3D. So this is not Hugh Jackman's system. This is the Macintosh house. Right?
Okay.
So the townhome.
Yeah.
I know what's his name? Josh and
he came to the thing.
Yeah. Josh sent us a bunch of pictures with this too.
I thought you were saying like they sent pictures of Hugh Jackman's house.
Yeah, it says Mr. Jackman in the house.
Yeah, I got
he was in the,
I misunderstood that. I thought he had like a sick.
I thought it was too. And then all of a sudden I was wrong.
I'm waiting on Josh to fly us up there, man. I mean, let's just go.
If Hugh Jackman comes to your Macintosh spot, right? Are you like, all right, we're gonna sell something? Like, what is your thought process? Like, we're selling something today.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman's in here. He's not here to browse around, I don't think.
Yeah.
No,
he's buying. But yeah, I'm waiting for that invite.
Yeah, well, I hit him up. We should be having somebody from their crew, him and someone from their crew on the podcast. So
in the upcoming podcast. Very good.
Yeah, we keep dropping the hints. It's like, hey, let us know, man. My wife's got her ticket ready.
Yep. Oh, SI Services asked how my album is coming along. Oh man, so far it's just a single. I got one song I'm working on along with all these other videos and everything else I have to do, but it will be ready for Hi-Fi Summit for sure.
He'll be dropping it like it's hot.
I don't know what.
Yeah,
it is.
I don't know. Sound effect goes with that one. Huh?
Just for giggles, is it possible to have convert an AV unit into an external amp? Yeah, you can, but you have to have inputs, right?
Basically,
so which ones have inputs?
You can do that for your front two or your rear height twos or whatever like that. Like that's what I wouldn't recommend doing it, but I mean, if you wanted to, you can, because you need to take a signal that is already processed and then run that stereo or direct on the secondary older AVR, and then kind of lock your volume on that one, maybe 50% volume. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the other situation, is you have that second volume to deal with, and that second preamp section. You can do it, but it's better to get a dedicated power amp, unless you have some old integrated amp.
They have the
where-
theater
where-
bypass, home
yes,
theater bypass.
yes, which has theater bypass.
Were
Yeah,
there no old AVRs that had like multi-channel inputs
Mhm.
ever?
some did.
Before, right? Back in the day, I thought
even-
that was a thing.
They had
Marine-
multi-channel inputs mainly because of the like some receivers did not process, like say for instance Dolby True HD. So you would buy a Blu-ray player that had multi-channel outputs. I think it was 7.1 multi-channel output, and so you'd come out of that Blu-ray player into the and so the player would process all of that, and then the receiver just play what it was receiving from the Blu-ray player
to the speakers. Yeah. Marantz has a 7.1 analog input still.
Mhm.
All Marantz AVRs last year before.
Yeah.
So it all depends. And that's where like the Oppo, BDP 103 or whatever. That's where or the 93. That's where they got that's why a lot of people started using Oppo, because they had 7.1 systems and they would have the Oppo process it and they would go analog to their receiver. Or they just go analog to their amplifiers and skip that preamp section altogether. So
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Straight from it, because they had really great DACs in it.
Yep, and it also has a volume control, so it has a preamp.
Okay, interesting.
What another thing that's interesting, when you go to put an Oppo in a 4K player or any kind of player into the Logitech remote, it says Oppo home theater system, and it has, because it has volume and it has all this other stuff. So yeah, I thought it was kind of fun.
It's an interesting thing. So maybe it might be a cool thing to try out with some of those old.
I've heard of guys doing that, because you need extra amplification and you've got this old receiver and you're not going to get much for it if you try to sell it. So sometimes they have I've never done that, but I've heard guys, doing that.
Yeah, I've seen people doing it to try to increase the number of height channels back when they were limited.
All right.
They would increase the height channels by doing that, like stacking up a few AVRs. Interesting thought. I like to play around and just do weird, hacky stuff sometimes.
Ike, they're out there, man. You just got to look. I think for every Youth Man deal, it literally, one day I'm going to make a video on just some of the fun stuff I've gotten, and the crazy deals that I've come across over the past 13 years.
How about a video how to get a Youth Man deal?
Honestly, that's part of what I've got on Trello.
Here it is. Here it is. You ready?
Yeah. All right.
Do a live stream looking for a Youth Man deal.
Oh, funny.
It's just you on your channel. Just jump on and you just share your screen with all the different. Okay, let's look for this. Just get like, okay, what do you guys want? What do you guys want? You let me know in the chat. What do you want? Receiver? What are we looking for? And just do it. Yeah, that'd be great.
All right. So the truth behind that is, part of it, you've got to know the product. And so, of course, with me, I just knew clips pretty much inside and out, especially the used market. And so part of that is you need to know what the value and like what the market value is for a certain set of speakers. So when it pops up on Facebook Marketplace, you need to know pretty dang quick whether or not that's a good deal or not. Because if you're doing your research, somebody else is on their way to buy it, kind of thing. So that's the part of the Youth Man deal. You got to be fast. You got to be looking daily, multiple times a day. I had apps that would notify me when certain things were listed. I mean, I'm dead serious, man.
So when you saw a crazy deal, you just be like, I want it. I'm getting it right now. Don't just remove the listing. I'm coming.
Yeah, I was second in line. I thought I was first in line. I was texting a lady. I'm like, yeah, I'm interested. Where are you located? What's the condition? And then I'm like, okay, when can I come? And she's like, oh, there's somebody already on their way. I'm like, why didn't you tell me that to begin with? But the guy bought a pair of Klipsch horns, $200.
Oh, what?
Those are Klipschorns probably sell $2,500 to $3,000, and these are old Klipschorns, and he got them for $200. I didn't even know where I was going to put them, but I was going to buy them for $200, man. I'm like, these are, we're going to check them out. So, but yeah, the deals are out there, but you got to be quick. You got to know what, know the value of it. So cool.
There it is. We're at an hour 35 minutes. So you know what that means. You're gonna have to wait till next week where we're gonna continue all this. If you are in the HiFi Summit attendee chat, we're all kind of in there talking on a regular basis. So if you miss this, we'll be in there. And on Youthman's Facebook page also, I see a lot of action going on in there on a regular basis, right?
Yep.
Michael. So we're there. We're on Facebook.
Come find us, man. Come chat. Come hang out.
Yeah. We're always here. Chana, you want to take us out today?
Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for hanging out with us. The Daily HiFi Podcast. We do this every Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, except for September 7th.
That's right.
We will be moving to September 8th for a very, very special announcement and gear looking into with our man, Phil Jones from Sound United. Although at that point, I think he'll be with projectorreviews.com.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's right. All right, you guys. On behalf of Michael and Joe, we want to thank you guys for hanging out. And of course, we'll see you next week. Peace.
Have a good week, guys.